Everybody, this is John for Pioneer Nexus MTGO coming at you with a quick deck tech before getting into some gameplay for Lotus Field Combo. As a friendly reminder, if you do like these informative Pioneer videos, please consider subscribing to the channel, giving us a thumbs up, leaving a constructive comment down below. So last time when we wrapped up, I did comment about some of the cards in the sideboard not particularly liking. If you look at the version that we were playing last time, not really knowing how I felt about the Zakamas, the 9 lives, and basically the rest of the sideboard I was kind of okay with, although you could certainly make an argument about these Behold multiverses, etc. So instead, I decided to cut these 3 and go with the more standard Leyline of Sanctity that we've been seeing and some of the variants. Other than that, deck split list is basically the same. Those of you who don't know what the deck does, you try to get a Lotus Field into play, copy it with the Thespian Sage, go nuts with things like Hidden Strings, with 0 Tumbling Sands, pour over the pages, get a bunch of mana, cast an Immersion Ultimatum, get an Omniscience, cast either Mastermind's Acquisition or Granted for Fae of Wishes to get Approach of the Second Sun out of your sideboard, find it again, cast it again, win the game. How you get there can be various different things. Usually the key to your starting hand is having either a Lotus Field in your hand or having Sylvan Scrying in your hand. And then you need to find a copy of Thespian Stage to copy it, and you kind of go nuts from there. Arboreal Grazer kind of speeds you up. Also makes it a little bit more difficult for aggro to punch through, although they frequently have removal spells, especially in Game 1, to deal with it. Hidden Strings obviously is part of your mana engine along with Vizier. Impulse helps you find missing pieces and instant speed. Baral helps make your spells cheaper, while also having some random bonus if you happen to counter spell, though you don't really counter in this deck much. Beyond that, Balagid Recovery is both a regrowth effect and a land. And then beyond that, Leer makes your spells uncounterable, or all spells uncounterable, while allowing you to play things from your graveyard with Flashback. And then beyond that, you're using things like Dig Through Time, Behold the Beyond to find your key pieces. Behold allows you to set up 3-card combos that allow you to kill through something like Narset. Mastermind's Acquisition, most people just play this as a way to fetch their win con out of the sideboard. I like playing Fae of Wishes, and in case your opponent has some way to exile one of these two, you still have a backup way to actually win the game. Beyond that, that's pretty much the main deck. You do have access to Beseiju Notawara on your main deck as answers to annoying things or hate cards your opponents might have. Sideboard, Pithing Needle, primarily there for card. Terra Sunder is the new kind of natural state or any of that kind of effect, deals with any annoying permanent your opponent might have, while also having a bonus thing of if you have a Lotus Field in play, you're able to deal with hate cards like Shouldered or Narset. Mystical Dispute and Sphinx the Final Word for any type of counterspell decks you're going to be facing. Behold the Multiverse for any type of grindy, mid-range, or control decks. Supreme Verdict for any type of creature-based decks. Leyline of Sanctity for anything that's going heavy on discard, mainly Rakdos and Mono Black. And then Thought Distortion for the mirror match and for control. Still in the process of really learning how to play the deck. Most of our gameplay has been in the practice rooms, so this will be our first foray into a league, especially during Brothers War. So hopefully this will go well, and see you for the first match. Alright, we're here for match number 1 with Lotus Field with kind of an awkward hand. If we had colored mana of any kind, this hand would be keepable, but since we have a particular combination of lanes we have, I don't think we can keep this hand. This hand's much better. Put back, I guess, Sylvan Scrying. Red black midrange, or mono black. Yep, looks like we got a Hidden Strings. Opponent goes. Oh, looks like we might be up against mono black. Sign in blood. Sure. Obviously, our opponent's going to have some idea of what we're doing, or some idea of what we're drawing by playing that, but it's kind of whatever. We're going to play Thespian Sage next turn. Fourth turn, we do Lotus Field. If they play Liliana, I think we pitch it up at Maya Coast. You know, the mono black deck's playing. Alright. Yeah, trespassers, whatever. Obviously it gets to flip. Shieldred, I think, is the scariest card. We have to take a pour over the pages here. Hidden strings. Interesting. Okay, so we have could have played Arboreal Grazer, but I really don't think it serves any particular purpose on this board. Obviously, if they have Shieldred or like Invoke Despair or something, we're in a lot of trouble. Yeah, that's why they left us with pour over the pages instead of hidden strings. We have to take the risk. So what could I impulse into? Here doesn't do much here. I think the only thing we can do is cast Impulse, see what happens. Is there any card we could Fae for here that would even matter? We would need 8 mana for something to matter. Yep. If we had access to 2 more mana, we could have potentially wished into Supreme Verdict. Obviously we want the ley lines, we want the Terra Sunders, especially since they have access to things like Necromentia. I'll get recovery. These grazers are interesting. Obviously, Invoke Despair is a way to get around Leyline, but how does that work? Target opponent. Never mind. Guess I'd like to play first. Do I mulligan to Leyline, or do I just keep this hand because it has all our pieces? Guess we try it. One Thoughtseize. Probably take Impulse. Faster our opponent here. Possibly we're supposed to run out Fae. Okay. Obviously, if they have Shieldred, we at least have Supreme Verdict to go grab, I guess. go ahead and grab Rick, I think, here. Don't wind my wife's stupid clock, which I forgot about when I started doing this video now.
The clock helps you.
Mm-hmm. Just like my beautiful wife. That is my wife laughing in the background. I believe that's technically the first time she's ever been on camera. Even if it was just to come in and laugh at her holiday clock going na 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 na.
At least you got the right song for
Alright, so start with pour over the pages. Put your scrying. Okay, so fortunately I tapped incorrectly, so can I even emerge an ultimatum here? For no, because I have the wrong lands in play. Let's grab an Onawaru just in case. Game's basically over since we have late line in play and they're not putting any type of serious heat on the battlefield because of Supreme Verdict. Yeah, Liliana is kind of annoying, but also kind of whatever. Put my pitching here. Green, green. Do this. Get omniscience. Pour hidden strings. Opponent could potentially have something like Feed the Swarm. Okay. Cast for Omniscience. Dig through time. Cast Fey. Cast. Look at approach and win the game. All right. Don't feel like our opponent's deck is aggressive enough to bring in Supreme Verdict. Can I ask why you're still chorkling in there?
Are you on pause?
No.
Oh, because it keeps sounding like a Darth Vader noise.
Ah. How does Feed the Swarm exactly worded? I know they take damage for it, but I'm curious. Feed the Swarm. Not that it's a card we're likely to encounter, but it's where target loses life equal to permanent's mana value. Well, feels like this is a hand we could keep. Alternatively, we could mulligan looking for Leyline. I think we keep this one, put back Immersion Ultimatum. With turn 1 duress, sure. Danger with the first hand is if they had like duress and a Thoughtseize or something, then we just lose. Possibly should have let on Besagio to be able to play. We don't have Arbor or Boreal Grazer in our deck anymore. Yeah, like they just have duress into duress. The first hand would have gotten eaten alive. Like we just literally would have had a hand with like 4 lands and it would have done nothing. Liliana would be kind of bad here. Okay, they just kept a hand with like nothing going on. Okay, yeah, Liliana. Graveyard Trespasser. else. Alright, just need a payoff of some kind. So we're going to take 6 here, whether we like it or not. Deal with Shieldred. Cast Recovery on Terra Sunder, just in case we can deal with another Shieldred. So we can't cast Emergent Ultimatum, can we? Because of Beseju as the secondary land. Is there anything we can get with Behold Beyond? Hold the Beyond, 1 mana. We can live, I think, if we go Behold the Beyond, floating a mana, Hidden Strings, untap, Hidden Strings, untap, granted for Supreme Verdict, I think is what we have to do here. Is that even enough? No, because that's only 6 mana, because we would need to get land, Hidden Strings, granted, so we'd be 2 mana short. So alternatively, I guess I can grab land, Hidden Strings, Pour Over the Pages, and hope that we somehow get somewhere. Strings. Yeah, mana was just awkward enough that we couldn't cast well, we somehow backdoored our way into this. Do this just in case. If we have a removal spell here, we're in a bit of trouble, but at least this gives us a do that, do Hidden Strings, do Pour Over the Pages. Okay, cast Omniscience, cast Hidden Strings, cast Omniscience, now we just have an easy path to victory here. Attach it to that since it'll get exiled anyway. Cast Pour Over the Pages. Opponent is that. Cast Impulse. Looking for either Granted or whatchamacallit. Okay, now this makes it simple. Let's go grab this. Cast Approach. Replay Mastermind's Acquisition, cast Approach. And that's the game, friend. Whether you like it or not, the game's over. And we win the game. Alright, back for match number 2. Play. This hand does essentially nothing. This hand also does nothing. This hand kind of does something if we draw a land, so we'll risk it for the biscuit, I suppose. Put back what? Omniscience dig through time. Just hope to peel from there. Okay, so do this to resolve, grab Thespian Stage, pass turn. Okay, it looks like we're up against that'll work Colossus perhaps. Interesting. Does Grazer actually add anything to the mix or not? Use this to grab Beseju just in case. Play Arboreal Grazer to run out this. Sacrificing these two. Now we have a blocker. Okay. Wait, what? Another copy of Beseju, I guess. Our opponent's got Nasika's Chariot in hand. Combat Thresher, Artifact Creature Construct is either a 1/1 or a 3/3 for 7 double striker. Prototype of 2 and a white. Sure. we're taking 3. Start by cycling. Impulse. Okay, so is there any way to... Pour puts us down to 1 mana. It's again, Boseiju kind of coming back to bite us a little bit. Obviously, if they have a counterspell, we can't win, but we at least have the option of blowing up Chariot or Combat Thresher, perhaps. Chief Engineer. That's downright scary, especially if they some way have counter magic. Smith. Okay, I'm looking for hidden strings, 4 over the pages, omniscience. That's kind of useless. Cast this for do I have the hidden strings down there? I do. Okay, so I can get Leer and Just guarantee whatever they give me, the game's over. Figure our opponent will have some type of light permission, some type of like mystical disputes or something in the post-board games. Yeah, no matter what you give me here, friend, the game's over. So a bunch of creatures, potentially some light counter spells. Do I even bring this in to try to fight that battle? Razor is quasi-important, but also not. Do this, do this. Try like this, I guess. It's kind of weird, right? They're like this engine deck, but they're also playing blue, so they could bring in, you know, negate. They could bring in mystical dispute. They could bring in metallic rebuke. Yeah, sand is perfectly reasonable. Like, we don't even care if... I think... So we'll put that on top. Opponent with a renowned weaponsmith. Artifact spells or activate abilities of artifacts. Really tells our opponent a lot about our hand, but yeah, I don't really care about that. I still think they could be a Metalwork Colossus deck with garbage like that in their deck. Sure. So what do you take here? Beyond the Beyond? Maybe Impulse? Roll is interesting there, but I still think we take Hidden Strings. Okay, that's going to get annoying. Guess the only thing to note here is our opponent currently doesn't have much of a clock going, but could very easily up their clock this turn. Combat Thresher, sure. Interesting. Why wouldn't you attack with the other one? Or with... I guess Hermit doesn't have flying, so... ironically, this is just a bluff because we have literally nothing in our sideboard to go get here. I'm supposed to leave Verdict in the sideboard. Two, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okie dokie. Teleportation circle. Yes. It's a very slow hand. Doesn't seem like their deck has much going on turn 1. So we know we're drawing hidden strings. Grab a Lotus Field. Yeah, that's kind of whatever. Okay. Chariot. Mm-hmm. is for 2. Feels like we're going to hit by another Chariot into Hold Up Malevolent Hermit. Oh, Ingenious Smith into something. That is a problem. I'm 99% sure we're dead now. Yep. And we're dead. Damning Sphere got us, unfortunately. 2, 3, 4, 5. Possible we're supposed to mulligan a little bit even further down to try to find the lands, but then Sphere would have got us anyway. It feels like Chariot was too big of a pressure. I don't know. I just felt disjointed, especially with the disruption our opponent had with Teleportation Circle and Malevolent Hermit as their disruption as opposed to actual counter spells. Interesting build. Don't know how it does against things like Rakdos and such, but still interesting. Alright, take a look at this hand on the draw. Seems fine, especially if we can find another land off of our Scryland. So I think this is a keep. So Karuga fires? Nope. I didn't reveal Karuga, so. Nope. I need an actual land. Oh, Niv. Okay. What do I picture? Brawl, maybe? Cast spells or activate abilities. Players can't pay life or sacrifice non-life permanents. Okay. Pretty sure we're just dead at this point. You can figure a deck with what, 20 non-land or 20 non whatchamacallit lands. Okay, bring to light for what? Niv. A bunch of stuff that basically doesn't matter. Alright, and we're not hitting that, so. Niv, Mizzet, Reborn. So Claudio's latest list. Casualties of War, Weathered Runestone, how's that? Permanents in graveyards, players can't cast spells from graveyards. Does not look like they have any extraction-based effects. They have some amount of thought seizes. Okay, bring these, bring those. Maybe Terra Sunders for any type of random hate cards. Again, kind of the same awkward hand. Still think we keep it, but oh, give me a land deck. There we go. Possible I was supposed to grab Lotus Field there instead. See if they counter this one. Yep, looks like I was supposed to grab Lotus Field instead. How do they afford to play Field of Ruin in their 60 card? Wow, that is extremely greedy. Opponent could have Field of Ruined us and played their Sylvan Caryatid. Looks like they were trying to hold up Dovin's Veto again. Yeah, I got greedy with the Sylvan Scrying. I should have gone with Lotus Field. Okay. All the random things to amuse you, dear.
Are you still recording?
Of course. Okay, I guess a little bit here because they get to get Lear. Leaves us with some vulnerability to counter spells. Presume they have another Dovin's Veto here. Which is fine-ish. How is Lear? No, I want to see Lear. Spells can't be countered. Might be greedy to blow this up, but I really don't want them pressuring your life total, so. They're still not going to have quite enough mana to activate Valky to turn him into Lear. So. Is your last card Kolaghan's Command? Seriously? Wow. Alright, so they get unmoored ego. Yep, and I definitely screwed up the sequencing of Lotus Field earlier, but just getting caught by Kolaghan's Command being someone's last card is just... couldn't really play around that, so... less than stellar showing in this matchup. Alright, we're back for the wrap-up. What did we really learn today? Sequencing is important. I got a little bit cute with my sequencing, especially like in that last match, you know, fetching up a copy of Thespian Stage when we should have been fetching Lotus Field first. Always remember, get your Lotus Field first. And then we just got caught by some random just stuff out of opponents' decks. Like against the Artifact Creature deck, the Bant Artifact Chariot deck, whatever you want to call it. We kind of got caught by a Damping Sphere after blowing up our opponent's Chariot. We also got caught by, you know, some stuff, some unexpected things out of Niv, the one Niv version that we played against. Spellquiller wasn't particularly relevant, but it was a consistent source of pressure. Then we got hit by a Kolaghan's Command after we'd regrowth our Emergent Ultimatum. You know, stuff like that you just can't really beat sometimes. That said, you know, there were plenty of growing errors and mistakes on my part. We beat Mono Black, which felt nice, which is kind of Rakdos adjacent, although not quite as aggressive as Rakdos can be. We lost to 5-color Niv, mainly just kept a greedy hand in game 1, got punished. Game 2, we kept a similar hand, kind of got there. And our opponent just had the right amount of disruptions with like double Dovin's Veto, Spellquiller, Kolaghan's Command, etc. They also were able to take our Lear with their Valky. Just their disruption happened to line up well in game 2, and we just kind of got behind. Really, it came down to my mulligan decision game 1. Kind of got us a little bit, you know, with a scry lane and a couple draw steps. I figured we'd hit a land we never did, so we weren't able to play our Lotus Field. Just kind of got blown out. And then, you know, you live, you learn sometimes. That's one of the things with playing a relatively newer deck, especially one that's not as cut and dry as something like, you know, Mono Red Aggro, Mono White Humans, even something like Rakdos or Mono Green. You know, this deck requires a lot more finessing and learning how to maneuver around things. But yeah, there was some lessons to be learned there, and it's always nice to learn, even if it's a little annoying when it's on camera. But it happens. So, anyways, hope to see you for the next video.